Good morning, Vietnam. Robin Williams, 19 whatever it was. Anyway, this is going to be a really exciting video. This is probably going to be one of the most exciting videos that I have ever done. I'm going to drive off a cliff in my car. You can see it all the way to the ground. Actually, it's more exciting than that. I am going to go. What is that guy in front of me on? Anyway, I'm going to Kingsland, Texas, folks. Believe it or not. And I'm going to get some propane for my RV. I do this about 3 times a year. It's a big event. I wanted to take you along and share it with you because it's such an exciting event. I am smacking on a dark chocolate almond and drinking some green tea from my stainless steel mug. Life is good. What's going on in your world, folks? Tell me. Let's see, I saw a guy the other day do a video on what he called a perfect day for him. And I thought, well, hell, I can do that. I can do a video on a perfect day for me. So, a perfect day for me is getting up and taking a walk, a cool morning, just when the sun's coming up. And then having me a smoothie with my fruit and yogurt and nuts. And then taking an exciting trip into Kingsland to get propane. And then coming back home and having some organic carrots. And then at beer 30, which is about 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, I drank 3 or 4 beers. And I have to tell you, they taste good. And then I fixed me some snack, either some nachos, which are like chips, beans, cheese, hot sauce. Some people I put avocado and tomato on them, just a small bowl. And eat that while I'm reading my book, and I drink wine, red wine. It's okay. Go to bed early. I go to bed about 9 o'clock at night, and I get up about 6 a.m. in the morning. That's 9 hours of good rest. And I try to do that about 365 days a year, because if you skip one, you're really in trouble. You want to hear a joke? I know I've told it before, but I just had to tell it again. I want to tell it this morning, so I am. This is about the hunchback of Notre Dame, and I can feel the people hitting the button now, the off button or whatever. Anyway, Quasimodo, Notre Dame Cathedral, or wherever it was. He was the bell ringer. And, you had to go up about 300 steps to get to the belfry, where the bells were. And he did it every day for about 40 years. He was a hunchback. He would hunch up the stairs and ring the bell. And the bells had to be rung 3 times a day. And he was getting old, and he ran an ad in the local Gazette for a replacement, and he was sitting in the belfry waiting for the applicants. He waited. Nobody was showing up, so finally, he had just about given up. A little midget comes up the stairs and walks into the belfry and says, "Quasimodo, I'm here to apply for the bell ringer's job." Quasimodo looks at the little guy, who was about 3 feet tall, and thinks to himself that this guy does not have the strength to ring these bells 3 times a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. How am I going to tell this little midget that he's not qualified? Well, before he could get it out, the little midget ran and jumped, hit the bell with his face, and rang it. Quasimodo thought to himself, well, that's a good trick, but you got to do that 3 times a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And he was just fixing to tell the little midget that, that ain't going to get it. Well, the little midget runs, jumps again, hits the bell with his face, and rings it. Quasimodo's thinking. He doesn't want to hurt the guy's feelings. Obviously, the man is determined. He really wants the job. And so finally, Quasimodo bows his neck, and he's just fixing to tell the midget to can't do it. And the little midget runs, jumps, misses the bell, goes out the belfry window, falls 300 feet straight down on the ground, and splat. Well, Quasimodo thought, well, that's the way it goes. So he hunched down the 300 steps, walked out into the open area around the cathedral. The crowd had already gathered. Hundreds of people were there. The police had already arrived and were on the scene. And so he works his way through the crowd, finally up to where the police were. They were leaned over the little midget, splattered on the ground. And Quasimodo walks up, and the police officer says, Quasimodo, do you know this? Do you know this man? And Quasimodo leans over and looks at him and says, no, I don't know his name, but his face rings a bell. What do you think about that one, huh? Huh? I know I've told it before. I'll tell some more of my old ones too. I finally went off the deep end, boys and girls. Finally fell off the cliff of sanity. And I feel so good. Sanity was boring. Insanity is fun. When you're sane, you're normal. When you're insane, you're just totally outside the loop. You just kind of float along and nothing really bothers you. You don't really give a crap about anything. You're just glad you're here. Well, that's me. So here we are. I know y'all have never seen this town before, Kingsland, Texas. So I don't know what to say. It's just so magnificent. It reminds me of Hong Kong. In what way? I can't think of one, actually. But we're going to get propane. Whoa! 1, 2, 3, red light. Wonder what this will look like 20 years from now. Wonder what the cars will look like. Will they all be electric and self-driven? That's going to change society a hell of a lot. I mean, computers already make enough decisions. Jeez. I mean, I could easily end up totally relying on Google Maps and Google Directions. Easy. Because when I took that little 11-day trip in the Prius, I know I told you, but when I was in Lubbock, or arriving in Lubbock, when I was looking for that Motel 6, I said, okay, Google, directions to Motel 6 Lubbock from current location. And guess what? Up it pops, and you just follow the little blue thing. It tells you. Up here, you need 1/4 mile, you need to turn to the right on Blue Street. The girl's voice is pretty nice too. I told her I liked her, but it didn't. Apparently she's kind of stuck up. So, his face rings a bell. Boy, that's a biggie. That's what you call a Hall of Fame joke. That's one of those that has risen above the thundering herd and arrived at the pinnacle of jokery. Now that right there is a constable. A constable in the state of Texas, other than the Texas Rangers, a constable is the only person that can arrest the sheriff. That's fact. That's why that position was created. It finally dawned on people, so wait a minute. If the sheriff does something wrong, how are we going to arrest him? Legally, they couldn't. So the position of constable was created. There's other things that the constable does, but mainly it's to arrest the sheriff if he gets out of line. Do sheriffs get out of line? In Texas? Shit. In South Texas, I guarantee you they do. Or they used to. Anyway, here we go, folks. We're coming into 4T propane. This is what you would call a small business. And right now, it is, that's going to be hard to get in and out of, ain't it? So what old Rusty's going to do, without getting runned over, is back in here. He's right off the damn main highway. But I come here because it's a young guy and his wife, and they started this business a few years ago, not too many. And I know that at first they struggled because, they still do. They both work here. Well, he drives a propane truck and does the home delivery, and she does the refills here. So, his face rings a bell. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye.